Why would a tender moment turn into a silent duel between friends? And how would Mabel, a toddler in a royal court, turn this tension into an unexpected bond? This is where our story continues. The scene opens right where Chapter 20 ended, with Mabel in the company of her older brother Oscar and his friend Enrique. Oscar is holding her warmly, stroking her cheek with a tenderness that makes her feel safe. But the moment Enrique steps closer to greet her, Oscar's demeanor changes instantly. His warm eyes turn sharp, and with a subtle but firm motion, he draws his sword just enough to make his point. Enrique freezes. Clearly intimidated, he quickly kneels before Mabel, his voice trembling as he apologizes for approaching her so casually. Mabel, in her childlike wisdom, feels a mix of amusement and pity. She leans forward, pats Enrique gently on the head, and says a few kind words, forgiving his offense. But Oscar, still holding her, narrows his eyes. "Pat me, too," he demands, his voice laced with a possessive edge. Mabel giggles and obliges, patting his head as well. The tension melts into a softer atmosphere, and in the end, she ends up holding both their hands. The two boys exchange glares, but for now, the rivalry rests. Chapter 22, Short Bridge Recap. Time passes quietly. Mabel spends her days being doted on by those around her, but she can't help noticing the constant power plays between the people in her life. She's slowly piecing together the political landscape of the empire, who's loyal, who's not, and how much of it she can influence even as a toddler. This subtle chapter serves as a setup, placing Mabel in the right frame of mind for her next, more mischievous adventure. Chapter 23, Deals Come at a Price. One afternoon, curiosity gets the better of her. Slipping away from her usual attendants, Mabel sneaks into her father's grand oval office, a place filled with important documents, maps, and the weight of imperial authority. She looks around at the cluttered desk and spots a bottle of black ink. With a mischievous grin, she tips it over onto a pile of official treasury papers. The dark liquid spreads like a stain of chaos. "Black water," she murmurs, fascinated. Then she looks up at Gustav, who has just entered, and innocently asks, "Is there red water, too?" Gustav panics, rushing to salvage what he can, but Mabel's attention has already shifted. She reaches for the imperial stamp, pressing it onto a piece of paper she has scribbled on herself. Quietly, she slips this official document into the Emperor's stack, a sly move that no one notices yet. Just as she's about to make her exit, her father, Emperor Esteban, appears in the doorway. His imposing presence fills the room, but instead of anger, his gaze softens at the sight of his tiny daughter. "What are you doing here, little one?" he asks, half amused, half curious. Mabel freezes, caught between guilt and charm. Esteban chuckles under his breath, resisting the urge to scoop her up right there. The moment hangs in the air, playful, warm, and tinged with the knowledge that in this empire, even the smallest actions can have lasting consequences.